Did we fix it? Okay, there we go. But what I was saying, no, I knew because of the build-up and because of what went down at weigh-ins that if anything, we were going to get a really exciting first round. And I hope it keeps up. I like that Franchon came right up to the center of the ring, pushed Claressa up against the ropes. Can't she do that for all 10 rounds?
Oh! Unloading right hands in both directions right now. But if you pay attention, different than the first fight, Claressa is really picking her spots. She's much more precise than she was in that fight 10 years ago.
That big right hand from Claressa Shields coming right over the top. A second ago, you saw Franchon roll it out. That was the adjustment I wanted to see her make. She can't continue to take Claressa's right hand. She got to continue to roll, get on the angle, come back, or get her head off the line when she meets her with the same shot.
The issue in exchanges is the hand speed. Claressa Shields has much quicker hands. Big left hook by Shields and a right hand behind it. In what has been a firefight of an opening round.
Big four-punch combination from Claressa.
Never was there a tale so fine as that of the bride and her Frankenstein.
The Bride, rated R, March 6th.
Back live here in Detroit, Michigan, and what an action-packed opening round. And right at the first bell, Franchon came forward and pinned Claressa against the ropes. But Claressa was very smart here. She was staying low, going under, picking her shots very, very smartly, landing the cleaner blows. And there at the end of the round, you saw unloading with both hands. Excellent opening round for both these ladies, especially Claressa.
Franchon's being aggressive, but she has to be careful not to get caught in between the exchanges of that left hook. Claressa's been very successful with that left hook right over the top, countering Franchon in the middle of the combinations.
I think it's left hook to the body as well. Chris Mannix, huge this the opening round, but when Claressa can kind of reduce a fight to a series of time races like this, she is very difficult to get the best of as she back-cruises her out.
And Chris Mannix, you said it best, Claressa Shields is a very high punch round. She's very fast. 4 girls at this weight class. A lot of the girls in this division can't keep up with that work rate. Franchon will throw 3, and Claressa Shields will come back with 5 or 6 punches.
Yeah, I said at the very top, I don't love the idea of Franchon coming in trying to exchange with Claressa Shields. That's exactly what the 4 rounds of the first fight looked like. Claressa's hand speed is just superior. Her punch output, like Miguel, you said, is going to be more significant. She's got to fight behind that jab. I don't mind her being physical, pressing Claressa against the ropes, but...
Well, there's that jab right there that you're talking about. It stops her. It stops Claressa Shields from coming in. And sometimes maybe it's too easy, so people get away from it. Claressa sometimes get away from that jab, and she loves that right hand so much. But Franchon's got to keep that jab in her face and stop her from landing that big one, too.
No, she's got Buddy McGirt in the corner. Nobody talks about the jab more than Buddy McGirt. The last 30 or 40 seconds is in microcosm of what Franchon should be doing. She needs to bring it down to single shots back and forth, use her body to be physical, so Claressa cannot let those combinations go. So that hand speed is really on display here.
Yeah, straight down the middle. Claressa has looping shots a lot of the time, so the way you beat looping shots is you go right down in between them. That's what they're going to give her a lot faster. Franchon's got to keep that jab straight down the pipe and time that right hand right down the middle.
Oh, good overhand chopping right from Franchon Cruz. And came off that jab.
The final right hand from Cruz to turn as well. Nice bounce back there from the heavy-hitting diva. The crowd is going wild here in Motor City. Two fighters, 100 fights. The Bronze Bomber, Deontay Wilder, travels to London to face Derek Chisora in the 50th professional fight, respectively. With a bomb squad, Ignite the O2, or will Del Boy have a couple tricks up his sleeve? Make sure you don't miss the 100 Saturday, April 4th.
Great action there in round 2. Early in the round, it looked a lot like round 1. where Franchon was coming in very aggressive with the nice precision counter punching of Shields on display.
Yeah, Franchon's got to try to avoid those kind of spurts. Those are the kind of things that can rack up points, change the punch stats, really put her behind the 8 ball. She's got to stick that jab, keep this fight on the outside.
And make it ugly on the inside.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to be in exchanges.
Yeah, I will say, Michaela, if we're looking for signs of hope for Franchon here, there's only a handful of opponents that Shields has had who have even been able to make adjustments at all. And we did see Cruz Dessert make some of them in that second round.
Yeah, we are seeing her make adjustments, and we're seeing her keep up the work rate. You know, she's not necessarily matching the punch count that Claressa has, but she's doing better than a lot of Clarissa's opponents, and she's still game, she's still coming forward. Hey, push Claressa Shields against the ropes. Anyone, I would say push your opponent against the ropes. You know, it's not good when your attack is on the ropes, and it looks good when you're the one pushing them against it. But Claressa does so well against the ropes. Franchon tends to fall in and get countered, so I'd like to see her keep it in the center of the ring and just keep the combination simple.
Chris Maddox, how is this looking for you so far? How do you have to score it? I had one to start to get a game Franchon Cruz Dessert that last round at base of maybe him or so. Sticking that jab, landing some decent right hands. 1-1 so far, but a good round I'm looking at here in the third by Claressa Shields. Shields is getting that right hand free, and a chopping right hand there on the inside with a hard body shot in that sequence as well.
Good counter move from Franchon.
Yeah, it gives ground and then lands a good counter as a result.
All of Franchon's success comes off the jab first. The lead jab is what's setting up the right hand that she lands.
Yep, start with the jab and finish with the jab.
Yeah, when she lunges in with the overhand shot, Claressa sees it coming, and they get tangled up.
These exchanges, Claressa Shields has shown some real heavyweight power. 2 fights early, she knocked down Daniel Perkins in the last round of that fight, so she got some pop with these heavier weights. Cruz Dessert might have felt some of those shots, those machine gun combinations off the ropes, the same ones that knocked out Vanessa Lepage Joannis. Cruz Dessert stands up for them, and the crowd stands on its feet.
Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all something right now. If y'all don't like me coming on, sharing my screen and my energy or whatever, then all of y'all can bounce, bro. Because I'm kicking out everybody that got something negative to say about my energy on my channel, sharing my stream and putting my channel in a whole threat because I'm not even supposed to be doing this. So go ahead and make a negative comment. I'm kicking everybody out here that do.
Another round that started out well for Cruz Dessert, almost as if Shields felt it slipping away, really poured it on at the end of the round, even while fighting off the ropes, landing the cleaner, sharper punches, and putting a big right hand over the top right at the end of the round.
She is sitting down on the surface.
She's a much better puncher at heavyweight.
I was just going to say that I think she really found her power moving up in weight. I think that last 30 seconds in that round, Franchon definitely felt some of those shots.
Seeing Franchon's face starting to show the wear of those heavyweight punches.
This is the kind of pace I think that Claressa Shields can fight at in 10 rounds. Not convinced yet. Franchon Cruz Dessert.
If you pay attention to Claressa in between rounds, she really focused on her breathing, getting her heart rate back down so she can go out and perform at this high level once again, each and every time. Little good right hand counter from the outside there by Shields.
Well, Chris, going back to your point about Shields' power at heavyweight, one thing she pointed out in fighter meetings as well. It's the first time she's had 2 healthy shoulders in several fights.
I mean, the way that she's letting these hooks go off both hands, I wouldn't be surprised.
The box totals
They slip a bit.
rounds. Both women throwing bombs here. Shields already over 100 power punches thrown.
Yeah, Chris, to your point, the pace seems to be wearing much more on Cruz Dessert than it is Shields. Yeah, it seemed like in the first 2 rounds, she kind of unloaded her arsenal, and now a little bit less of the output. Whereas Claressa, output's still there.
3-4 punch combination there from Shields. Back comes Dessert with a short little right hand as well.
That right hand hook from Dessert, that's exactly what she needs to continue to throw. And meet Claressa Shields as she's coming in. Catch her in between her shots. Claressa's getting confident with that right hand. We always see there's a point in one of Claressa Shields' fights, that turning point, where she really starts to feel that right hand and she starts to go for it. That's when Franchon is going to be successful with continuing the jab right down the center. Jab, double jab, then finish with the right hand and hook.
7 great fights all in one night. Moses Atama and Jermaine Franklin headline a massive night of boxing from Manchester, England. And Atama be the first to stop Franklin. Look at the American derail Atama's meteoric rise. You can tune in Saturday, March 28th to find out here on DAZN.
Here we see Claressa Shields really getting her rhythm going in that last round, letting those hands fly with bad intentions.
And if you notice, Franchon through Dessert on that right knee area, looks like she got some Benicio tape wrapping it. I wish she took a bit of a fall at the weigh-in on Saturday because of a minor injury there that she's dealing with going on this fight.
Now, we were told that Cruz Dessert visited with the doctor this morning to look at her ankle and knee. Oh, good overhand right there for Shields.
That was Cruz Dessert.
They're both throwing their head off the line and they're throwing that right hand.
Oh, beautiful body shot there. That slip and rip that Claressa does. She slips outside the right hand, takes that left hook to the liver. Thing of beauty. Yeah, to your point, they're both technically sound. Very, very sharp, great hand position, getting their head off line, like you said. Oh, beautiful stuff there. Shields.
I feel the body language of Cruz Dessert really have changed over the last round and a half.
Yeah, Franchon has a tendency when she gets in, she kind of smothers her punches and ties up instead of dropping her knees and digging down to the body. She would have a lot more success. She let her combinations go to the head and then started to roll and dig to the body, but instead she's there for Claressa to counter. And it's hard to get away with it because Franchon throws 3 punches and Claressa Shields comes back with 8 or 9.
If indeed Cruz Dessert is working with a draining battery here, and these body shots that Shields is focusing on here in the 5th, they're not helping her.
Yeah, I love that little slip, that hook to the body. She's done that 3 times this round.
Big right hand coming from Claressa. That was the 3rd one in a row. That one lands with Venus.
And again, right over the top. But the seconds tick away here in the 5th. The momentum swinging heavily in favor of the Globe. Claressa Shields. We're back to action here in the 6th round. hear the drums in between rounds. Guys, this really is a special atmosphere here, too. And there's something to be said about that Shields home field advantage in Detroit. It sounds different. There's a vibe here in this arena that is different from most fighters in boxing today. And Shields piling up the jabs. Chris Mannix, how do you have this going so far?
Yeah, I've got Claressa Shields firmly in control now, 49-46. Thought the first 2 rounds were competitive. A lot of back and forth those first 2 rounds. Both fighters really punches, but the gas tank of Claressa Shields is just far superior right now. She seems fresh, the combinations are sharp, and it just feels like there's a different look on the face of Franchon over these last 2 rounds. So 49-46 on my scorecard. The more that Franchon has gotten away from the jab, the more we're seeing Claressa Shields walking her down, coming in the front door, and unloading with combinations of great balance.
And a good jab. I expect her to come out this round with Shields and start looking about that right hand because I know she's getting confident. But she started off really good jab, staying behind the jab.
That was
another great jab.
So talked about totals a moment ago. Another big right hand there from Shields. Shields at that point outlanded Cruz Missouri 112-62, and those numbers are climbing right now as Shields is putting it all together here in the 6th.
Gotta think that the referee in the corner is looking very closely at Cruz Missouri here. She's getting hit with a lot of leather.
A lot of it is the foot balance too. You see Claressa, she's able to throw 5, 6, 7, 8 punches with her feet stay underneath her.
She never breaks position.
She doesn't, and more so than I've ever seen her actually. Her feet are really impressive in this fight. Franchon tends to throw a few punches but then fall in with it, and she can't counter or come back.
The fan zone, 90% of which is in favor of Claressa Shields right now.
I like to beat the 10%.
They, DMV area.
Who's going for that 10%?
Round 7 underway in this undisputed heavyweight world title fight. The champion, Claressa Shields, taking on the unified super middleweight champion, Franchon Cruz Missouri. And the growth, as tends to happen in her fights, is starting to pull away in a big way.
Cruz Missouri's game is the pump. He's coming out, trying to establish that jab once again.
Yeah, to that point, I think Cruz Missouri has gotten a reputation of being a sloppy fighter, but I think that this fight shows she's made a lot of adjustments on that end. She's landing cleaner shots, a lot more technically sound. I don't see her falling in as much as she used to. But one thing I really would like, what I think would help her nullify Claressa Shields' attacks is turning. You don't want to stand right in front of someone like Claressa Shields because she'll unleash again for 8 or 9, 10 punches. So Franchon Cruz Missouri should be turning, should be staying on an angle, punching, rolling out, not standing right in front of her to be hit.
Well, and Michaela, we talked about this before, the familiarity between these two, right? And you pointed out, Franchon every once in a while could do something to break Claressa's momentum. But the question is, does she have the energy left to do that consistently down the stretch?
Yeah, I said this is going to be had to be a very disciplined fight for Franchon Cruz to win. You know, she'll have to stay disciplined for the entire 10 rounds and stick to the game plan.
Between the pace and the body work by Shields, you just see the energy level of Cruz Missouri going down and down each round. Good body shot again. Really tricky shot there. That left hook to the liver. Nice shot there by Franchon. There's a left hook upstairs.
Heavy hitting diva still sneaking a shot in.
That's what I mean by being game. She's still punching with Claressa even though she can't keep up with the hands.
they needed any encouragement here, but Claressa Shields firing the crowd up even more as round 8 begins. Hispanics, how do you have this one scored so far?
Yeah, 69-64. Pretty easy fight to score over these last 5 rounds. Just too much activity, too much accuracy from Claressa Shields. I think Franchon's trying out there. She's still landing some decent shots in between these punches, but we're looking at like a 4 or 5 to 1 accuracy gap right now for Claressa Shields. 69-64.
And Michaela Shields starting to really double up on that left hook as well, go from body to head.
I was just going to say, we know she's a big right hand, and usually when you're coming up with a game plan for a fighter, you see, if we're the strongest, you move away from that power shot. But Claressa is throwing power shots from both hands right now. She's flipping, going body to head of her left hook, and she's hitting that big right hand over the top. And it's confusing Franchon on which way to go. The standing right front isn't any better. You got to pick a side and stay on the angles and keep turning.
To your point, Mika, this is the most complete version of Claressa Shields that I've ever seen when it comes to the jab, the left hand, the right hand, and the positioning. The positioning game that she's playing has been excellent at. Sitting down the punches, you can see the influence of John David Jackson on Claressa Shields. John David Jackson preaches power punches. You had a fighter like Sergey Kovalev. It's taking some time, but Claressa's really developing some real confident shots.
Claressa just switched to a lefty stance to go that overhead left.
Super bad-esque.
I caught it right.
Body shot again there from Shields. She's shine to the body, climbs the ladder up top.
Whenever she hears that 10-second marker, she fires a combination.
Big right hand over the top. We saw some blood coming from the mouth of Cruz Dezern as we head back to the stools. A British classic in the making. Fabio Wardley makes the first defense of his WBO heavyweight title against former IBF champion Daniel Dubois. Get ready for an epic night under the lights in Manchester. You'll see it all live and exclusive here on the Zone, Saturday, May 9th.
Good overhand right from Cruz Dezern, but right back does Shields come firing. And then another good left by Franchon. There's a nice counter there. See, when she's able to make a little bit of distance, she gets on that jab, that's where she has the most success. Does Cruz Dezern.
Two to go here in our main event. Jab in the opening seconds of the round. You know, Michaela realistically we're probably at a point for Cruz Dezern where she needs either a parade of knockdowns or a knockout. Do you see anything that maybe she could be doing to create an opening for something like that?
Well, yeah, at this point, whether you either got to get a knockout or you probably won't win the fight, but you still have to adjust. And right now, standing in front of Claressa Shields is the way to go. I think Franchon had a little bit of success in the first round or two when she was pushing Claressa Shields back. And Claressa Shields best if she can come forward and time you. Push her back, make it rough. Either that or get on your toes and box and move. But I just don't think standing in front of her, you're going to knock the match that way.
Great shoulder movement, upper body rhythm shown by Shields. Consistently slipping and ripping and firing off these shots, getting back to that jab. When she's on that jab, she's really difficult to deal with.
Well, and Chris, we're seeing a pattern here too. Even as Cruz Dezern is trying to apply pressure coming behind her jab, Shields is able to throw second and third. So she can counter and then come right back and Round 10. 10th and final round, 10 years later. And Claressa Shields, much like she did in 2016, dominant here tonight against Franchon Cruz Dessert. Chris Mannix, I have an idea of how you have it scored. How do you have it scored?
Yeah, 89-82 for the Claressa Shield. It's just been a complete paint job over these last 6 rounds. Dominant. Claressa accuracy has been on point. Franchon just has not been able to find an answer for that hand speed and that activity. 89-82, gonna take something special in this last minute. Franchon Cruz Dessert to win this fight. Had a good opening minute in this last round, has Franchon. Give it a pat. Shields against the rope. Use her upper body to physically pin her down and let body shots rip on both sides.
Yeah, she started the fight off like this in the first round. I think that's probably what she should have kept up throughout the mid-rounds. But then again, because she leans in, because she put her weight forward, she really can't get the leverage on the shot.
Yeah, it's not generating a lot of power there on the inside. Really power left. New pick that up there from Shields. Right back down to the body.
Shields saying, come on, let's go for it in the closing 40 seconds.
Oh,
Big right hand over the top of Shields. Just clubbing away on Cruz Dessert.
Franchon's tough as they come.
Yeah, you know, Claressa Shields gonna work with that big right hand. I know she wanted to finish this night with a knockout.
Ooh.
But Cruz Dessert is definitely one of the toughest shows.
Their stories are forever intertwined, and they've given us a memorable final chapter.
Hey, yo, Franchon stood in there, though. I really thought she was going to get knocked out. She did not get knocked out, though. She was close. I was scared for her. She came out with all her energy because all that tension between them two and all that beef, but I'm proud to see that she actually stood. And she's 38 years old, dog. 39. Claressa, I think, is 30. Franchon is almost 40 years old, bro. But they don't hold it out. That's because they was really friends in real life. They was really friends in real life.
Friends again, perhaps. Michaela, this is nice to see.
That's what's up.
There we go. That's what I wanted to see. I knew I would see that.
She ain't get knocked out, though.
Lay
She
all
stood her
on the
ground.
line out there and do what you gotta do. You're gonna embrace each other and have a little bit of respect.
I'm proud of her.
But some things that were said in this build-up, I don't think would ever be taken back. They will be remembered.
Thank you to everybody that subscribed to my channel. I appreciate y'all. And every like,
whether they're ever friends again,
every
they came together to make a really good fight.
Thank y'all.
And I don't know how
God bless y'all, and I love y'all.
Maybe never get back to where it was, but again, you know, they did what they had to do for the sport, for women's boxing, for the fans.
Well, if you enjoyed that one, how about this all-Mexican duel in the desert? Emmanuel Navarrete and Eduardo Sugar Nunez with their super featherweight titles on the line at the Desert Diamond Arena in Arizona. All the action next Saturday, live on the Zone. Chris Altieri, I know you're not going to be missing that one. Navarrete Nunez.
I don't miss any fight. Especially that one. 2 Mexicans, I'm in.
Gentlemen, after 10 rounds of action, we go to the scorecards. The judges are in agreement with a unanimous decision. All three judges scored about the same, 100 to 90. All three in favor of the winner. And still, the undefeated, undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, the greatest woman of all time, Claressa Shields.
An emotional night for Claressa Shields as she puts on another dazzling performance here in this arena that she now calls her fighting home. You see the emotions on full display. You saw them on her face before the fight, and now the old friends come back together once more.
She gave them what they wanted. They did not back down. And then you do what you're supposed to do. You got a little bit stronger than you want to do. That's the whole way stuff. You got there.
Well, a beautiful moment between Shields and Cruz Dezern. All is well in the friendship once again. There you see them posing. Like about 10 hours ago, we didn't think that this was going to be possible, Michaela.
I know, it feels so toxic, but I'm glad. I'm glad they can have a, little piece of squad.
Well, we've got a lot of reality show cameras around here. It's only fitting, right?
I don't know. I thought their friction leading up to the fight was actually a good thing, because I thought that Cruz was going to come to fight. She did. Cruz came to fight. Now she left the friendship at the door.
All right, Chris Mannix is standing by with a quote.
Well, Claressa, congratulations. 10 years have gone by. You've gone 14 rounds now with Franchon, Cruz Dezern, and have not lost a single one of them. Did this feel like picking up right where you left off in 2016?
No, I felt like I had to take my time. Franchon hits hard, man, and she's tough. You got to be very tricky with her. Like I said, she was trying to cause an upset today and got me with some shots. But Franchon is exactly who you think she is, the heavy-hitting diva. And that's one of the best fights that I've been in my professional career, especially at 10 rounds. It was fun. I had to watch my ass every round.
The first 2 rounds of this fight, she came right at you. Seemed to be throwing a lot of punches at you. What kind of adjustments did you need to make in those first couple of rounds?
I want to make sure I can get her time on her jab. Franchon may be shorter than me, but she's longer. I always have been like that since our amateur days. She got a real good stick, and when she put it out there, her right hand come right behind it. So, like I said, I had to watch myself, and I had to get real tricky with her. I think today I showcased my skills, my offense, my defense, my body shots, and I almost had her out round 7, but she just wouldn't go.
Yeah, the body shots were terrific all throughout. Did you feel like that body attack was starting to take something out of her as this fight progressed?
Yes, I think it was round 6, 7. I was like, she's getting ready to go, and I tried to step on the gas. I think I just wasn't punching enough in round 7, 8, 9. So I go back to my camp and get back in the gym and get in better shape than what I am now. And like I said, I can beat these girls unanimously, all of them. I'm trying to get the knockouts, and I tried hard tonight. I want to thank all 18,000 fans that came tonight. I love y'all. I could not believe what I saw when I came out here. I want to thank my team, Coach John, Coach Keith, Winning Records, City Promotions. I want to thank God, and just everybody who just uplifted me in this camp and gave me a good word. This was a tough camp, emotionally, spiritually, dealing with family and dealing with haters, but God always won at the end, and I'm happy that I'm here.
Saw kind of a nasty scene between you two guys on Saturday. The team's got into a bit of a fight there. You even barked at her corner, I think, after the 6th round. Did that change your approach coming into this fight? What happened over the weekend?
For the weekend with the little brawl, whatever, that was something that was out of me and Franchon control. we as fighters, and we can't control other people. I think that she held herself right after I pushed her. I think I held myself right. I think that just the teams got a little heated, and that's what happened. But I'm happy that nobody got hurt. And if I could go back in time, I wouldn't even push her because I didn't want that to happen. And I got real love for Franchon. Like, it's a lot of girls who I call my sister in this world, and she was right there with me when I was getting ready to have a panic attack, getting ready to fight against Marcella. She came back there. She saw I wasn't right. She hugged me and told me to remember who I am. And so I always carry her in my heart. So I ain't got no hate for Franchon or for nobody on her team.
It's one thing to win a fight. It's one thing to defend your titles. But as you mentioned, this is the 4th time you fought here at LCA. And every single time, the crowds get bigger and the crowds get louder. What does it mean to you to have this kind of support in your home state?
Listen, I never in my life, at the age of 11 years old, boxing out of Burston Fieldhouse, thought that I would be here today. I never thought that women's boxing would make it this far. To see this, I'm just so grateful to God that everybody can accept me as being a pretty tough and strong woman who really just loves boxing. I'm probably gonna box when I'm 50 if my body let me. I love boxing, I love competing, I love the competitive energy. I just really love boxing. I'm happy that now it was a time when, boxing didn't love women. Now they love us, and I love that.
You've cleaned out the heavyweight division, cleaned out multiple weight classes, but 2 of the top 3 women in the world are right here in this building tonight with you and Michaela Mayer. Are we getting close to seeing you 2 former Olympic teammates share the ring?
I believe so. I would love to share the ring with Shadesha. I'm at heavyweight at 175. All these girls know that I'm way smaller than them, and I've been smaller than them my entire lives. But Shadesha is at 168. I would go down to 168 and fight against her. Franchon still got belts at 168, so you might see the Claressa Shield versus Franchon Cruz 3. And I would love to make my way back down to 162, 163 for a big fight with Michaela Mayer. Absolutely.
Congratulations, Claressa.
Thank you so much. Love y'all. Thanks, The Zone. Thanks, Zeus. Thank all y'all for being here. Thank y'all.
Give you the last word, Dimitri. Last time you were in the ring, Claressa was a free agent. You're back here again, selling out this building, put a lot of butts in the seats. What did you think of what you saw on tonight?
Incredible night of boxing. It's great that Claressa pulled in Papoose in here, because he's been the bridge. Pap has been the bridge between Pap has been the bridge of getting us together with Win Records and Salida Promotions, reconciling and figuring out a way to make it work with Ruben Branson, our new partners. What a great night of boxing, culture, hip-hop, world-class championship coming all together to make this incredible.
What's the next big one for Claressa?
Well, Claressa has shown throughout her career that she's willing to go up and down to weight to make the biggest and the best.
Where's Shadesha at? She here?
Shadesha, Michaela.
Shadesha here?
I haven't seen her.
If you here, get in the ring.
I haven't seen her here, so.
The champ has spoken, but let's give a round of applause to Franchon Cruz, who scored an incredible fight.
All right, Franchon, we'll give you.
Look, I'm gonna let y'all finish, but shout out to the Baltimore crew. Hold up, my head fucked up. Shout out to all the fans that came from VA, from Baltimore, from DC to support me, support Claressa, and Detroit. Don't be acting state, because y'all know y'all love me too. All right? Heavy on the 2. But I want to congratulate Claressa because she stepped up. We always put on the show for the fans. A lot of stuff transpired, but I love this girl. Seeing this since she was 15 years old, and you do what you continue to do. If we get a chance to share the ring again, I'm still here. I might have to bandage my other knee and put an ankle brace on or something, but I'm always here to push you. And this is women's boxing. Shout out, congratulations to the baby. Thank y'all.
Congratulations to both you women.
Thank you so much, Chris. Chris Algieri, obviously an emotional night for Claressa Shields, so we're happy to see her and Franchon Cruz deserve to come back together. There was a moment when she was walking to the ring where she kind of took in the scenery for the first time, and it reminds you of how far things have come for women's boxing since that kind of big bang moment, the start of the new era when these two fought the first time.
Yeah, I know exactly the moment you're talking about. You know, she stepped in the ring, she looked down, and she just looked like she looked like she was almost like like a childlike look on her face, like wow, this is here. I've gotten here. But on top of that, they put out a great fight. The fight was very entertaining. Franchon Cruz really brought it. She's got a ton of heart, a ton of grit. She's trying to win throughout. She just lost to the better fighter tonight. Claressa Shields is just on a different level.
And I will say that version of Franchon Cruz Dessert, if you take her back down to 168 against that pool of fighters. Listen, we saw what happened with Danielle Perkins. When she's fighting someone that isn't Claressa Shields, you get a greater idea of who they are relative to the actual field.
Absolutely, and I think something that happens, something that happened with Perkins much more so than Franchon is, greatness is blinding. A lot of times people get in front of it and they're like, what do I do now? They get a little frozen. Franchon did not get that in either fight with Claressa, which is great, but also spending time with greatness, spending 10 rounds in the ring with someone like Claressa Shields, it makes you better. I think Franchon is going to get better from this experience. And hey, I'm not knocking seeing them a third time. The fight was good. And Franchon, like I said, is going to improve from this night.
Yeah, well, speaking of improvements, we'll look back at the full fight highlights here in a moment. As if it's possible, I think we saw some improvements in Shields as well.
Absolutely.
You kept pointing out those slips and rips to the body, in particular, were standing out round after round.
Yeah, I mean, it was her. Yeah, I mean, it was her positioning, her balance was at a different level tonight. Defensively, much more sound and able to counter, and we saw that immediately in round one. I thought, this looked a lot like the first round of that first fight, but if you paid attention, it really wasn't. Claressa was very, very smart, even when her back was against the ropes. And then when she got a little bit distance, she got on that jab. She's getting that right hand off, she's getting her head offline, and then the left hooks. Rip into the body, the left hooks. Combinations we know about Claressa Shields, but the way she was able to hit a varied range was absolutely stunning. I mean, the slips and rips with the jab, the hooks to the body, the doubling up the hook to the body and to the head. She really put everything together tonight.
The crowning moment once again for Claressa Shields. And we always thought, and we thought from the beginning, throughout their lives, they have brought the best out in one another. I think that body work in particular, Chris, that's hard to do for Claressa Shields against other opponents that she's had, ones that were less willing to engage. She had those opportunities against Cruz Dessert.
And also Cruz Dessert, I think like Michaela had said on the air, she's gotten better. She's not sloppy. She's not falling into. You can't go in body shots if someone's falling into consistently. Cruz Dessert was fighting at mid-range, trying to match wits and hand speed with Claressa. That is what we allowed Claressa to do the work that she did, especially to the body.
I'm sure we'll speak plenty more about it once we send it back up to the studio, but still very compelling. Claressa versus Shadeja Green. Claressa versus our colleague Michaela Mayer. There still are compelling fights out there for the book.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's always been the issue with her, is finding ladies out there that can give her a challenge. And I think those two that you named, especially Shadeja Green because of her big power and her physicality, and then Michaela because her boxing skill and range and high-level IQ. I think both of those pose two different kinds of puzzles for Claressa to deal with, but I want to see it.
Well, and as we saw here tonight, when you're a draw the way that Shields is, you are the event, right? Shields can have whichever opponent she wants. It's probably going to start to do numbers a little like this, but those types of fights, against Mayer, against Green, those bring eyeballs in a way that other fights don't.
Absolutely, I agree. With Shadeja, it's like you're gonna look at someone, she's very dangerous. Like this is a dangerous fight for Claressa to take. And then Michaela, it's like this is gonna be a very tricky style to do. It's smaller, got to make weight again. But regardless, people are coming out. Claressa Shields puts on a show. That ring walk, the way that she brings to the ring, the energy that she has, and then the way she fights. I mean, she's just entertaining no matter who's in front of her. But it's better when we have someone who's good like Franchon Cruz Dessert, who's going to push her to new limits, which we saw tonight.
Yeah, and obviously the hoopla earlier this week that added didn't hurt whatsoever. No, but I made this point during the fight as well. This is a special type of atmosphere. There's only a handful of high-level fighters in boxing today that can bring a crowd that sounds like this. This is a different kind of energy and a home field advantage. I mean, there's a raucous nature to this crowd that can probably be very intimidating for a lot of fighters.
100% intimidating. The energy that is exuded in this kind of event is palpable. It's in the air. And when you're an opponent, you're the one coming in to challenge the GWOAT, you're gonna feel that. Even Franchon, she got booed a little bit at the beginning, and she said it after. She's like, "Don't be stank. You guys like me too," and she's right. But that's just how much pride there is in Claressa in this kind of atmosphere, and why she does have home field advantage, regardless of who she's fighting.
Well, Shields soaking it all in, and deservedly so. The GWOAT is the GWOAT for a reason. For a reason. We'll be back with more Beyond the Bell is coming up after the break.
It's showtime, and there's no better way to win on boxing than with DraftKings Sportsbook. This is the home of boxing bets. So step into the ring and go the distance with this unbeatable offer. Place all kinds of bets live or before the bout, like fight props, over-unders, money lines, and more. Download the app, enter the promo code, and get in on the action. The crown is yours.
You can do it on OnlyFans. It's a platform to monetize on the things that you're really good at. I can create whatever comes to life.
I like having full creative control.
You think because you prayed a prayer or you came to an altar and say, ask the Lord into your heart and then live any way that you
if I can go back, I wouldn't catch nobody. I would have saved my body. Everybody else wouldn't deserve my body. Although in this society, sex is promoted.